Recently, a viewer reached out to ask about two young sisters we featured in a story 8 years ago. The Altermatt sisters stepped up to take over their family farm after their dad was killed in an accident. The viewer wondered how the sisters are doing now. In a moment, we'll tell you, but first, Boyd Huppert shares their inspiring story.
Ill winds and gray days fell upon the land, farmed for more than 50 years.
Yep.
By a seed corn-capped Mark Altermatt.
Yep.
A Redwood County legacy passed from his father.
Tradition
to Mark.
Be carried on.
To his son.
When you build something, you want it to continue to be built.
A farmer's dream that then died on a dark summer night on Lake Chetek.
Boating accident. He had hit the bridge.
Barb Altermatt is Mark's wife, and Perry, the operator of that doomed boat, was their son.
I'm too emotional about it.
Their granddaughters, Miranda in blue and Kaycee in peach, have grown up some since this picture was taken, but neither was ready for this.
No time to dwell on anything. You just got to keep going.
Kaycee was 22 when her father passed away. Miranda
We got busy
had just turned 20,
real fast.
single, and pursuing their own dreams when days after the death of their father, life and their grandpa
I said,
posed a question.
do you want a farm? Well, we're going to help. I said, that ain't what I'm asking you. I says, I know you'll help us take the crop out, but I want to know if you want a farm.
Kaycee didn't know beans about driving a combine, and neither had planted or marketed grain.
I said, well, you better think about that. And they didn't have to think about it.
If we didn't take it over, then who would?
That question
That's what we worked for, to
made only more poignant
have the kids take over.
because Barb and Mark had been down this road before.
He was 23, a senior at the U.
Doug was their other son who was supposed to take over the farm before a skid loader bucket crashed down on Doug in their yard.
So we lost both of the boys.
1,000,000 times. Barb has asked God, why both? But still, no answers.
No. No.
Definitely made us closer.
Yet from those granddaughters
Little Kaycee in the combine.
came hope.
I knew that Mark probably wouldn't have lived himself if he would have had to say, we're going to sell and rent it all out.
I knew me and Miranda would do it.
Kaycee and Miranda have had help
They're learning fast.
from their grandpa, family friends, and their Uncle Scott, who drives out from the Twin Cities
Worthy cause.
to lend a hand.
I wasn't sure they were up to it, but I am now.
This fall marks their 5th harvest, with time out in between for 2 farm weddings, and the birth of a girl for Kaycee and a boy for Miranda, who spend time with their grandmas while the baby's mothers farm.
I'm sure we're stronger than what we thought we could be. Sorry.
For Tammy, their mother, it's overwhelming sometimes, thinking about the husband she lost and how much life has changed.
Right, you gotta go on.
So on they go.
We'll go till at least 8 tonight.
When darkness fell on a 3rd-generation farm, the women of the 4th lit the way. Boyd Huppert, KARE 11 News, Lamberton.
Well, 8 years after their story first aired, Kaycee and Miranda have just completed another harvest. The sisters are still very much in charge of the farm, Kaycee operating the combine, while Miranda still drives the tractor pulling the grain cart. There have been some big changes for the sisters. Kaycee and her husband Josh now have 4 children, ranging in age from 9 to 3. Miranda and her husband Jeremy have 2 children, ages 8 and 5. They're proud. Grandpa Mark, who you met in the story, passed away last fall at 85, knowing his farm was in good hands.
Oh, Boyd. You're here now to see the tears in her eyes in person. You're usually watching from home. Thanks for that update. I know
Loved it.
we appreciate it. And I think everyone's rooting for the fact they'd still be in charge of that farm.
Yeah.
It's encouraging. And we know you have your own update on your own story. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. back at work, obviously, and
We're so
happy to
glad.
be here. And starting to put some new stories together, which we'll start sharing next Monday night. And looking for story ideas again, too. We value the viewers who send us story tips.
Yeah. And what percentage would you say of the stories you do are tips from people that just email you or call and say, I have the story, and they always say, for Boyd.
Yeah, specifically
Probably
for you.
95%, probably.
Okay.
Really, 95.
Yeah.
And people, if they want to send one in, what are you looking for?
Stories that touch
Yeah.
my heart and your hearts and the hearts of everyone who sees them.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the stories we look for.
And what I love is that you spent the time and the diligence in your team. And if you go to our website, you can see if you want to go across the state and find a story from your area. That is such a great interactive area on our website. You have to
Yeah.
check it out.
So, I mean, they're all so fabulous. And I know people have stopped me all the time. They have Boyd stories. Where do people reach you if they want to give you a story idea?
Go to the care11.com. There's a Land of 10,000 Stories page and a place to leave ideas there.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see them. Thanks so much,
We're
Boyd.
glad you're
Thank
here
you.
tonight with us.
I know it's a treat to have you
So
in
good
studio.
to be back.
We love you.
No kidding, no kidding.